Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Ashkan Lashkari, MOASC president. I'm here as part of our monthly Researcher of the Month uh, interview. And today we're highlighting Dr. Justin Moyers, a medical oncologist working at the Angeles Clinic and Research Institute associated with Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Dr. Moyers, congratulations and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for this honor, and glad to talk to you and under the MOASC organization.
Well, thank you so much. I know your areas of interest include head and neck cancers as well as cutaneous malignancies, but it sounds like your main interest is conducting phase 1 clinical trials, something that many of us find very challenging to do. And so it certainly takes a lot of work at getting a phase 1 program set up and really running right. So we want to learn a little bit more about what your areas of interests are, and maybe you can share, provide us a little bit of an update on that.
Yeah, so I've been here at the Angeles Clinic for about 6 months. My main focus here is, as like you said, is head and neck cancers, and I see some skin cancers as well. And I'm also phase 1 consults. My primary interest has always been phase 1 clinical trials and putting patients, matching their tumor types to either an immunotherapy-based clinical trial or molecular-based clinical trial with targeted therapies, using precision oncology. So here, trying to build up a portfolio of trials that we can see any patients and find a trial for them, really using immunotherapy to attack their cancer. Yeah.
Well, that of course is an area that is evolving so quickly, and we're seeing such a fast release of new approvals. And so I know a large part of that has to do with the type of work that you're doing in phase 1s. Maybe you can share with us some of the particular trials that you're focusing on now, so we can learn a little bit about what those trials are and provide some background as to who they can help and how we in the community can potentially refer to you and who to refer to you for those trials.
Great, yeah, and as many of the listeners probably know, I have a couple colleagues, Dr. Memi and Dr. Hamid, who have been here for a while, and they kind of head up the skin cancer program. And so a couple of trials that I've put patients on are under them as PI. And a couple of ones that we always like to highlight are we have an immunocore study that is a bispecific antibody targeting PRAME, which is expressed on not only skin cancer cells with melanoma specifically, but a whole range of other tumors. And these bispecific antibodies have been really in HLA-A2 positive patients have been really leading to some extraordinary responses, and it's been presented at ESMO last year and then ASCO this year as well. Another one under I think the other thing that we're very excited about is there's been good data both from company here and then also last year with the Netherlands group of using tumor infiltrating lymphocytes. That's not yet FDA approved, but we're expecting that will be approved for melanoma patients soon. And so that's one of the other treatments that will hopefully be a standard of care in the coming year or two that we're excited about. But then as I mentioned, I'm PI of some studies, and we just opened up one that I'm very excited about, using an engineered toxin body, which the mechanism of action is to try to cause ribosomal death, and this goes through a CTLA-4 mechanism. And so we're enrolling patients. This is a first in human study, enrolling patients with all cancers in escalation and then select tumor types in expansion. through a CTLA-4 targeting mechanism that's thought to be less toxic than ipilimumab and other anti-CTLA-4 drugs. We haven't yet enrolled anybody on this, or started this drug on anybody, but this is a trial we're very excited about through molecular templates. We have several other trials with bispecific antibodies and T-cell engagers that we're very excited about as well, both using traditional PD-L1, LAG-3, PRAME, etc. Those are undergoing approval, and then soon I'll also have a trial that with BMS that is targeting yeah. Oh God. Sorry, I forgot. Let's see. Well, we have several trials that we're
That's okay.
sorry.
I know that it's interesting. The bispecific antibodies are, as a class, are gaining such a foothold in the treatment of various cancers, particularly hematological malignancies. So what you're sharing with us is the use of this type of technology to treat solid tumors, correct?
Yeah, I mean, the way that most of the studies that we have are, they're trying to get those T cells and the tumor cells together. In the case of the Immunocore study, it's a PRAME and then a CD3 on the T cell. So we're trying to get those two cells together to try to elicit the immune response. And we've seen some good responses with that that have been published in abstract form so far. And so yeah, this is one of the other ways that we're hoping to steal from hematology and lead to a solid tumor success.
Yeah, it's very exciting just seeing the development of so many different technologies take a hold, and not only immunotherapies, but antibody drug conjugates, bispecific antibodies, but a lot of these are, as you mentioned, harnessing immunotherapy in conjunction with these various technologies. So it's I think our patients are fortunate, and in the sense that these things are becoming more available, and hopefully as we learn more about them through your work, they'll become more of a reality in helping patients continue to kind of live and potentially even be cured of their disease.
Yes, totally agree. And in addition to the immunotherapy, we've seen so many long-term successes with immunotherapy that get remissions, or even dare to say the word cures for them. But in addition, I think precision oncology is really taking a foot as well, where we're looking at people's next generation sequencing and trying to find specific targets for them as well. So far, in some of the cancers I focus in on, like head and neck, hasn't had as much success. But in melanoma, we also see patients who are cured with BRAF and MEK targeting therapies, and so there's new second generation drugs out in the line, and then even these RAF drugs towards RAF fusions as well, as one of the other ones I'm excited that we have here. Have patients that we get that have a rare CRAF fusion or other RAF pathway fusion, that we have a new Day 101 drug that targets that as well, as one of the other trials I'm really excited about.
Just goes to show how important it is to kind of understand each person's tumor type, and then be able to potentially provide a more precision treatment. Dr. Moyers, thank you so much for joining us. This was lovely chatting with you, and we congratulate you and the hard work that you're doing, and look forward to hearing more from you. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.